if everyone would please stand for a word of prayer and pledge.
Most high gracious Heavenly Father, we do thank you for this beautiful day you've given us, Lord. We thank you, Father God, for all the blessings you've bestowed upon us. And Lord, as we go about doing the county's business, Lord, just guide our hands and our hearts and our minds to do the right things, Father God, to do the best things we can for the county, Lord. Look over us as this business concludes and go with us always. In your name we give praise and thanks. Amen.
Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. I show 6:02, November 16th, 2021 regular meeting. All magistrates present except Brian Dillon at this time. All right. Any comments from citizens or special guests? Anyone here? Make yourself known. No, we'll move on. Old business. Approve regular meeting minutes for October 19th, 2021.
So moved.
Second.
Got a motion by Dewey, a second by Chris. Is there any further discussion? With that said, all in favor signify by saying aye, please.
Aye.
Ayes have it. Number 2, approve special meeting minutes from November 9th, 2021.
So moved.
Second.
Got a motion by Dewey Smith, a second by Emily Atkins. Any further discussion? With that said, all in favor signify by saying aye, please.
Aye.
Ayes have it. New business, number 1, discuss approve to discontinue maintenance on Wendell Lewis Road. I received a call from Wendell Lewis's daughter, Kim. Her and her siblings are, from my understanding, the only property owners on Wendell Lewis Road. Wendell Lewis passed away a few months ago. They would like for that road to have maintenance discontinued on it. They have 2 homes, I believe, on that road, and they would like to begin the process. Cheyenne, do you have anything to add?
As far as I know, it's all family owned property up in there.
Okay. What I can do, if you want to start this, is we can put it in the paper. I'll put the signs up at the road and within a mile of the road, and we'll bring this back in probably, I guess, December for the hearing. And if anyone has any issue with it, they can make themselves known then, and you can take it back up if that works for the court. Johnny, is that?
Yeah, that sounds good. Let me just add though, we all know that there's a process to discontinue a road. The wording that's on here that caught my attention was just to discontinue the maintenance. I think what you're asking for is a motion to discontinue that particular road as a county road. Discontinuing maintenance is one thing, taking it off the county system is another thing. You're wanting to discontinue it in the county system.
That's correct. They want the road back into the family. That was a family road before it was county.
Yeah.
And now they want it to go back to being
Private shit.
private. Yeah, private.
The only reason I mention that is if somebody makes a motion, you won't be making a motion to discontinue the maintenance. You'll be making a motion to discontinue the road as a county road, if that's what you want to do.
That's what was requested by the family.
I make a motion to discontinue the road as a county road.
Second.
I have a motion by Emily with a second by Pam. Is there further discussion here?
Just a question. Do we need to make that motion then if we discontinue maintenance so we can go back to a private road? Because we can't close the road. We can only stop maintenance on that road, which should cease being a county road.
It will not be a county road if we choose to discontinue.
Well, the wording is all I'm going
Yeah,
by.
that's what
I'm
I'm
saying.
It's a means to an end. Where
Yeah.
Ultimately, going through the process, you would post the notices in 3 visible places near the road, just like you've done in the past. To
Well, I mean, should it be said discontinue maintenance? Should
No.
it be?
No, I spoke to Rich particularly about this, that it sounds a little confusing. What you're really doing is discontinuing the road. So
So we're discontinuing the road as far as county maintenance?
yeah.
Okay.
Do I need to reword my motion?
I don't think so. No, I think that what you're doing is starting the process to have that road removed as a county road. That's, I guess, the easier way to phrase that.
Okay, yeah, that sounds good. Remove it as a county road. Okay, I understand.
Let the record show Brian Dillon is here. And the reason I say that, Brian, would you abstain from voting here because you've not heard all the facts? facts of this conversation?
Sure, we do that.
Okay, if you would.
Yeah.
Just this, and then
That's
all in favor signify, or is there any further discussion?
No.
All in favor signify by saying aye, please.
Aye.
Any opposed? Ayes have it. All right, Brian, you're live.
Excuse me for my absence, though, just running a few minutes behind.
It's all right. It's all
So
right.
let me just say one other thing too. Under that statute, it says that the fiscal court shall appoint 2 disinterested people to go view the road and report back in writing.
Yes, sir.
Now might be the time, if you really want to do that. It says the fiscal court shall appoint.
The family does want to do that.
If the fiscal court wants to do that,
Do we need a motion?
to appoint 2 people.
I make a motion that we appoint 2 disinterested parties to go the road.
I think that's dotting the i's and crossing the t's on everything, according to the statute, and the admin code.
I'll second.
All right, so the motion by Debbie Smith, you did that, Chris? All right, the second by Emily Atkins, is there any further discussion here? That said, all in favor signify by saying aye, please.
Aye.
Is there any opposed? Ayes have it.
Who do you normally get to do that?
It's been a while.
It would have to be somebody out of my district.
I'll have to find someone
I personally
that's
think-
not in Iceville. And I'll reach out to some folks toward Brian or Chris or Emily's, Charles's neck of the woods, one of the others, and see if they would go over exactly what.
See, Shine, the best I remember that the last discussion we had about us doing it wasn't in the best interest of the fiscal court for the magistrates to be involved. They need to be an impartial,
Correct.
Right.
yeah, and I think that's what we made this, that was decided on.
If you allow me, I'll locate 2 disinterested parties to go meet and have that discussion.
Yeah.
All right, number 2 is more of the same, only it isn't an entire road. It's, did you measure?
4.42 miles is what they want to leave on county
So what is
maintenance.
that taking off?
That's taken off approximately 3/10. I think the road itself is 0.7, so it's taken off then approximately 0.28. I measured it 3 times, and both is about the same calculation that I could get measured. So I think the safest is to say 0.42.
Charles, tell me again what the state recognizes the road length as being today?
The road length
The length of the road
is
today.
0.7, the best I can, on the paper that I have. I think it calls up, if you look it up, I believe it's 0.7 is the length of that road.
All right. Charles, if you want to, while I look it up here on the state website, can you explain the road and the situation?
Yeah, what they've got is, it's a road back through there, which is, there's other people lives on this road. The road is 0.7 miles long. It dead ends in an individual's yard, and he owns all the property past the 0.4. He's trying to hinder people from coming, sitting in his yard. People turn around in his yard. There's 2 landowners. He's already discussed with the landowner on the opposite side. The road is actually on his property. There's adjoining property to the road. He's already discussed that with that individual, and they both agree that they have no problem with it. The entrance to the other individual's road will be before you get to the 0.42 on county maintenance. And he is willing to give an easement for a turnaround spot at that point.
That was my next question right there. Does it
Yeah.
need to be a county turnaround for
Yes,
buses?
he's willing to give an easement for that turnaround.
So this road basically at the end of the 0.7 ends in this person's driveway?
In his yard.
Or in his
Yeah, it is his drive, I mean, it's right there in it.
Okay.
And it does not access, or there's no access to the adjoining neighbor's property from that road, except before you reach.
And that's the only 2 citizens or
Yes.
property owners?
Yes, that's the only property there.
That other property owner, does he have an easement or something writing that he has access to his land?
Well, the actual access to the land is, the best way I could explain it is that 0.42 is about 50 feet to 75 feet past the actual access to that owner's property.
Okay.
And he also has another one from the other end coming off of, I can't remember, it's a Hitch Road, I can't remember what the name of it is. It's Tony Hitch lives there, and he can come back in that way and access to their place also from there.
I didn't want landlocked, nobody ever tried to.
No, there's not, nobody being landlocked. It's,
Okay.
they've got actually two accesses to that place, one off of that road, off of Ingram Road, and one off of another road, and I can't remember the name of that road. But both of them access that property.
Okay.
.72 is what the state recognizes that road as being.
Okay, I know it's a .7 something.
County Road 1297 in the state, I'm looking at the state map right there.
Okay. Well, the best I can measure to where he would like to place his gate on the road is .42.
All right.
The turnaround will be approximately .41 to the turnaround. There's room to pull up to the gate and back up and
Is
turn.
that right past where the broomstick was or the red?
It's past it
We
just a little
talked
way,
about-
there's a big tree right
Yes,
there.
sir.
on the road.
All right.
Well, and then the turnaround would have been when that broomstick came just past, an old road there, he used to access a part of his farm, a field, and he said you could just gravel it, probably gravel with all it would need to make the turnaround, would need to be even nothing done.
So what you're asking for, and I'm not trying to put words in your mouth, you're
That's okay.
asking for the fiscal court to discontinue the road after mile marker .42.
Correct.
So the same as, only we're not doing the entire road, we're doing it after mile marker .42.
Correct.
All right. Need a motion?
I'll make a motion.
Wait, sorry, that's .42, right?
.42, less than half a mile.
I'll make a motion to approve to discontinue, not maintenance, the removal of the
Road.
road from after mile marker .042.
No,
That's
point
right.
four two.
42, yeah,
42.
of
A lot of
Ingram
words
Road.
there. Well,
It is.
thank you.
Sorry.
Lord,
I
that's
can
about
clean
full
that up
way.
if you need to. Jeez.
It's a big mile marker in Indiana. So I have a motion from Emily, I have a second from Cheyenne. Is there any further discussion? With that said, all in favor signify by saying aye, please.
Aye.
Ayes have it. Okay, we'll get started on both of those.
Make a motion to appoint two disinterested parties.
Second.
Good. A motion from Dewey, a second from Cheyenne. Is there any further discussion there?
Do as you said.
Thank you, Dewey.
You was gonna say something if it did?
I was already pointing at you.
Well, I didn't see you.
Guys are on. Your phone hasn't rings much today. Chris, you good? All in favor signify by saying aye, please. Any opposed? Ayes have it. All right, number 3, acknowledge the lease agreement with Keiko Leasing Trust for $3.3 million. Now, we went after 5.5. You should have the paperwork.
No, I don't think we put it in.
They don't have the paperwork. Okay.
I have the paperwork,
You have. Oh, they have paperwork. All
You
right.
have the book.
You have, yeah.
which is why it's not in there.
Okay, so let me explain. We went after 5.5. The DLG would only approve through this loan process for us, and it says statutory debt limit is 2% of the overall taxable year 2021 assessed valuation, which is $234,226,314. This is all debt. This just doesn't mean the debt that we're paying. It also means debt that is passing through the fiscal court. An example, or multiple examples are courthouse renovation, courthouse refunding, library. Even though the library debt is almost paid for, it still shows over $1 million sitting there. Ambulance service debt that's passing through us. We are still obligated to show this as active debt in our books. Therefore, it left us with maximum debt capacity of $4,684,526. Of that, the total legal bonding capacity is $3,221,444. Now, if you remember, I said 3.3. When this was done on October the 28th, it's before the new Mack truck went into the books. So it took it from 3.3 million down to 3.2. So we're sitting at 3.2 million, which was the sheet we received today. So we got an update from 5.5 on a hearing that I had when I was in Louisville 2 weeks ago to 3.3, and today it went down to 3.2. So our maximum loan capacity for bonding capability is now set at $3.2 million. I wanted to let you all know that that is based on 3.3.
Yes.
That'll go to Johnny. Johnny will sign off on it. However, I can already tell you, the amounts aren't in there, right?
The 3.3 is in this.
Well, that's gonna be updated. Once Johnny does it, she sends it back. They're gonna update it to this sheet. You guys are welcome to look at this. This is just our debt capacity ratio here. 3,221,444 is where we're at, and that's all it belongs. So, and it'll still be, it's more hoops we've got to jump through to get the ice storm debt and flood debt paid. We're working through that.
So I got a question pertaining to that. If, let's say we had, and pray to God not, that we have another disaster and need money, are we locked that we can't borrow any more from CAECO at this point?
You can if it's an emergency.
If the government declares it a state of emergency.
Recognizes ours.
Where does that leave us then pertaining to the 5.5?
We're not getting 5.5. Instead of paying the bills all at once, we've got to do it like we do discretionary aid. You all approve to pay this, we get reimbursed. You approve to pay this, we get reimbursed, because the debt that we have is at 2.9. So we're at 3.2, and that's the debt we have today. We're going to incur more debt because we still have Buster Fannin, Hay Hollow, Hog Camp, Lower Newcomb, T. Fraley, and Wallahoe roads that we've not fixed yet. I don't want to pay all the bills all at once because I still have this, that once these get fixed, the contractor's going to want some money for that too. So I want to be smart about this. We get to, is that in here as well?
Yeah, it's on a different line.
Okay, so we'll talk about that in a minute. But what I want to put in front of you all is we went from 5.5, whenever I went to the hearing in Louisville, it dropped it to 3.3. Well, as of today, kind of hot off the press, the Mack truck hit and it dropped it to 3.2. That's an acknowledgement. I want you guys to realize that whenever Johnny signs this and sends it back, they may end up sending us another group of papers saying, hey, this is the updated version.
So like if we have an emergency and we need another piece of equipment or something, our hands are tied, ain't they?
Barring a state of emergency being declared.
That's why I was my question, but barring a state of
Our
emergency.
credit card's maxed out, in other words, barring a state of emergency,
Well,
that's all we can get.
I'll tell you, it's maxed out. It's maxed out until the library bond is paid off in December.
December. And then our road bond will be paid off June.
Now, if I'm understanding this right, this 3.2
About 6 months.
is coming to us to pay debts
A
with,
little bit.
Yes.
but we'll be reimbursed back once these debts are paid.
To pay
Then that's
more
gonna
debt.
open the door back up for that 2.3. And my head said that we're short of the 5.5 that we was trying to borrow to pay those with.
We'll pay, just like discretionary aid, we'll pay a bill.
Just have to do a piece at a time.
The state will here's why I want to be careful with this.
I tried to pay $1,000 worth of bill for $10. That's
Well, you're not wrong.
You can't write a check for all of them.
You're not wrong.
But that's kind of the plan, what you're telling me.
Well, what I want to do is I want to pay, and that's part of on down through here. I want to pay part of the bills. We've not been here before. Now, Brian may have been here before, Cheyenne may have been here before, but the rest of you have not been here before. I don't know, even though the money is obligated from FEMA to Kentucky EM, I don't know how fast they'll cut that check back to us. I don't want to pay Oliver 2.9 out of the 3.2 because remember, I have these other roads we've not even worked on yet. And Wallahoe is in terrible shape. T. Fraley Road out there is slipping over that cliff. All these roads need worked on. I want to make sure that I pay what will satisfy the vendor right now, then put pressure on Frankfurt. Hey, let's get this turned around because discretionary aid, it's usually 30 days, we got a check back. We paid the $500,000 or right there about in discretionary blacktop. I should see that reimbursement check within a week because it's been about a month. So my hope is the same thing happens here, but this is a different pot of money. You're dealing with a different cabinet.
And it's a whole lot slower, it always has been.
Well, it can be, but I'm hopeful that we've got some actions in place that will get our money back faster. However, just in case, I don't want to pay all that debt right.
That's right.
I want to make sure.
No.
Exactly. And then you have an issue, and you can't pay for anything. So I want to make sure we've got money still sitting there. Now, remember, in December, we finished the library obligation, which is $1 million. It's $1,076,000.
So that'll come back off.
And that will be removed from our debt obligation for this
Next
payment.
month or next year?
No, it's December, right?
Yes, December, this year.
When it's paid off.
The library will be paid off.
What's that payment?
$116,000.
I was gonna say 125,
And what's our final road bond payment?
70, hang on.
I think the principal amount is 60 something, but
But to pay it off.
it's not much more than that.
So it's showing current amount outstanding $60,000. And that'll be satisfied in June. And that's 1.495 million.
So there's 2.25 right, or 2.5.
Yeah, that gets you pretty dang close.
So by summer, even if this all doesn't take care of itself, we're still back by July 1st. We're still back in, I mean, you can borrow money if we need
If
to.
we can make it through November, we'll have another million come back to December.
That's correct. That's correct. But you've got to remember also, we still have money right now in our general and our road funds that we can use if we have to. We're still in the, as long as the state gives us back that $500,000 for discretionary aid. So as soon as I get a check back on that, Chris will have $500,000 back in the bank.
Very quick,
Yeah.
very quick.
That's just about.
Get to think about it.
Either to pay off, isn't it?
That's what we do.
I wanted to let you all know that's exactly where we stand, and this was today that they let us know that the Mack truck hit her dead. And I understand that, we purchased that Mack truck. But in December, $1 million comes off that debt obligation. 116,000, and we've got 100 and, how much in that account? 120 something?
Yeah, I think.
So the money's already there, we just wait until that day, write the check, and then it's good, so.
I make a motion that we acknowledge the lease.
I'll second.
So I've got a motion by Louis, a second by Chris. Is there any further discussion? Let's say all in favor signify by saying aye, please. Any opposed? Thank you. I felt like you all needed to know that. It's a pretty big deal that we went after this. And I just wanted to tell you that we found this out today. I knew about the 3.3 like 2 weeks ago in Frankfurt, in Louisville, but I found out about the Mack truck and it dropping it even more today.
Even all the information you give me is still confusing.
Well,
It's twisted world, so I
when
understand.
you're in the office and you're doing several things and your treasurer walks in and goes, stop.
A lot of shuffling going on, ain't it?
So we had to back up. All right, number 4, approve the 80/20 bridge agreement for L. Atkins Road. We're going to refloor the L. Atkins Road Bridge. We've already sent the paperwork in. They've responded with a resolution, and I just need your all's approval so we can get rolling.
Is that the L. Atkins on Upper Newton?
It is, yeah.
I'll make a motion to approve the 80/20 bridge agreement.
Second.
Have a motion by Emily with a second by Cheyenne. Is there any further discussion? That said, all in favor signify by saying aye, please.
Aye.
Any opposed? Ayes have it. Consideration of bills and transfers, approved paid and unpaid bills.
Motion to approve paid and unpaid bills.
Second.
A motion by Chris with a second by Emily. Is there any further discussion? With that said, all in favor signify by saying aye, please.
Aye.
Any opposed? Ayes have it. Number 2, approved interfund budget transfers.
Same as always, true. Is Jill, retired? No?
It's about what it was prior to COVID.
That's what's like, it
Which
was
is
down
between 19 and 24,000.
30 now.
I'll make a motion to approve interfund budgets.
No, I'm sorry. That was just the transfer amount.
Oh, okay.
The jail bill itself, I think it was like 25 or something.
Okay.
20, sorry, Emily.
It's okay.
Emily's motion still stands.
I'll second.
that need to be worded again?
No, I think you're good. I think you're good. Motion made with a second by Chris. Is there any further discussion? Let's say all in favor, signify by saying aye, please.
Aye.
Any opposed? Ayes have it. Number 3, we have an issue with Bullet.
Bullet likes to escape.
Bullet gets rambunctious in the deputy's truck, and he's making some issues for the deputy. And the deputy went out and found the cheapest insert box for Bullet in the back seat he could find. And the sheriff's department was asking for us to help them with $32,1995 to have, and I offered, because this company is out of down around Paducah. However, I told him to save the $525, I would drive down there and get it, but it's being shipped to there to be finished, and you're gonna pay the shipping regardless. So they're just gonna drop ship it here once it's completed. So Casey and Sheriff Kraft has asked for us to help them out with this dog cage.
Make a motion.
Second.
The motion by Dewey, the second by Cheyenne. Is there any further discussion? That said, all in favor, signify by saying aye, please. Any opposed? Ayes have it. Approve to pay SDR and ER Assist April 2021 FEMA invoices. And this, I think you have in front of you, right?
Yes.
Yes.
So if you look at the FEMA invoices, and have you got it too, Johnny, as well? Okay, all right. You were looking at me like you had a question. I didn't mean to. Yeah.
That's just my general weakness.
Mine didn't know it.
I suppose we might know that.
Oh, yeah, and this will be as funds become available, because once this 3.2 is approved, you're probably looking at December 5th, so we don't have these funds yet. But once these funds become available, I would like to go ahead and have your approval to pay April's portion of the bills, which puts, it puts SDR up over $1 million, and ER Assist paying them $413,976.36. So you're looking at about $1.5 million that we would be paying once the funds are available.
I'll make the motion when the funds are available.
Second.
There's a motion by Charles with a second by Pam. Any further discussion? Let's say all in favor, signify by saying aye, please.
Aye.
Any opposed? Ayes have it.
Bunch of money in there.
Approved to pay Promised Land Tree Service. So here's the issue with this. Promised Land is a company out of Eddyville, Kentucky. They were in here doing a lot of work. Folks, I'm sure remember seeing their trucks. The backside of Cold Springs, going down the hill and up the other side, there were some trees that did not cut FEMA's. They were kicked out. However, we were blacktopping over there, and the contractor said, "You gotta get these trees out of here. We can't blacktop." Also, on the backside of Cold Springs, which is Chris's end, there was a line that runs over the road. The trees were laying on the line. The trees had to be taken off the line. FEMA wouldn't guarantee that because the trees weren't 4 inches around. Some of them were skinny pine and they were leaning out. In order to get the blacktop ran down there, the trees had to be removed. And I told him, he said, "I can't promise you that they'll pay or that they won't. I'll run it through. If it kicks back, it'll be on the fiscal court." I said, "In order for us to get the blacktop, I already had the blacktop schedule ready to roll. And in order for us to get the blacktop, the trees had to go." Well, Promised Land, they contracted Promised Land, who was already here in the county doing it anyway. They ran over there and removed the trees on both sides of the road, going down into the cliff and up the other side. And they got it out of the way so we could blacktop down the cliff and up the other side. They went through the chain, it got kicked out, and so the fiscal court was on the hook for $3,045 approximately.
So FEMA did kick it out.
FEMA wouldn't pay it because the trees, they were either, it was two things. And it's nuts because there was only about 2 or 3 roads that this happened on in the entire county. They were either too far back from there where they would go, or they weren't big enough around for them to say that they would approve. So they kicked them out. And we had pavers that were ready to go those roads. And he said, Myron, I can't get the trucks in here. Number one, that line was across. Number two, they were laying over the roads, they couldn't raise the bench to get the asphalt to come out of the back. I said, we gotta get this done. And he said, well, I'll send it in, but if it kicks back, the fiscal court's on the hook. That's why this is in front of you right now.
What
Motion
kind of
to
line
approve.
was it? What kind of line
It was
was
a
it?
telephone line, and it runs to a property out there that someone bought, and it's, if you go down on Pam's side and up Chris's side, it's about halfway up the hill, it runs across the road.
Probably a fiber line, they haven't been broke, I'd say.
So, and the limbs were laying on it in that spot, but it just wasn't that spot. It was all the way up that hill and somewhat coming down to Pam's side too.
Get over here.
And they wouldn't do it too. That's why.
I did motion. Motion to approve.
I'll say,
Motion by Pam, second by Chris. Any further discussion? That's it. All in favor, signify by saying aye, please. Any opposed? Motion carried. Let's see, communications from other county offices, acknowledge monthly reports. While you're doing that, I just want to take a minute to say a big heartfelt thanks to Christy Lewis. She put together, it was amazing, the veterans meals that and Christy had a medical procedure done and sat at home and still put this together while she was off work. And it all come together, and for those that were able to get out and help out, just thank you so much. A whole lot of folks were fed. I think we had around 190 meals that went out, and we tried to get to everybody that we could in the county. And we appreciate all Christy's efforts and all volunteers, and to help us show our appreciation for the veterans in Elliott County. So while you're looking through that, I just want to take that opportunity to say that.
Thank you, Christie, and everybody.
Thank you, Christie, and everybody else.
thank you, Larry.
On that note too, Myron,
Sir,
did they check the nursing home down here? I was told there were several in the nursing home down here too.
I'd have to ask Christy.
I don't know that they've been let them take anything in there.
I don't know that we would have been allowed to. come in.
Right, I was told by the individual, that they had like 9 in there. And I was like,
Okay.
okay. I'll just pass that
Hey,
information on.
Christie, you remember a couple of years ago when you gave us, I was able to do it on the bar ramp, and we talked about trying to get one every year where we would see like how much money we're taking in per year and how much we're spending per year. See how those correlate as time goes. Will we get another one there? I think you did it on line graph or bar graph one, I can't remember. Yeah, but it went back like 5 or 6 years. Like what we were.
I don't think it was a graph, but I did print them, I print them out like that every year around budget time. You work those like monthly or you just want them?
I would just think we get one maybe once a quarter or something. I just think that'd be something to look at so we can see,
Okay.
if you could. Make a motion, we acknowledge the monthly report.
We've not got a report on the ambulance for a while. Need one.
Be nice.
It'd be nice to see.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what I'll do, I'll send an email to the board, and I'll ask them to please update us. Moving forward.
You need to do that, or you need to have Johnny do
Then we'd
that?
like to have it by December's meeting.
Absolutely.
Let's start with me,
Okay. I mean, I just
probably a little more.
trying to play friendly, but we'll,
Yeah.
you know,
But we do want to see where money's at.
Right.
How to do it.
we're on the hook for some of their debt too, so
Yeah, it kept us.
I'd like to know what's going on.
Who made the motion? Dewey made the motion, was there a second?
Second.
Second by Pam, is there any further discussion? All in favor, signify by saying aye, please. Ayes have it. Is there any further business to be brought before the court this evening? Motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Thank you, everyone have a great evening.